Hi, I'm Justin Himmelbaum, and this is my KW story.
Today we're joined by Justin Himmelbaum out of sunny Florida, as you can probably tell by his background, to hear his KW story. Justin, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me, Liz. It's an honor.
It's an honor, and I'm a little scared. If those of you that don't know, Justin is definitely a little rogue, and it's a nervous interview here. We never know what we're going to get. But what we're going to do today is go through Justin's story, and I got the privilege of meeting Justin before he actually joined Keller Williams, and we're going to hear that part of it too. So, Justin, start us off just a little bit about you before you even got into real estate, before you got to KW. Tell us your background and just a little bit about you.
Yeah, so the quick story is grew up in Boca Raton, Florida. I went to college at UCF in Orlando. During that time, 2005 to 2009, I think we all know what happened. I went home to help my parents pay their mortgage, worked in restaurants, and then about 26 years old, became a bartender in downtown Delray Beach. Through that, I gained a bunch of, kind of notoriety in the city for being a really good bartender and being a friendly person. And then decided to give real estate a go because I was dating a girl who frankly probably wasn't going to marry a bartender, and I wanted to get married soon. So I tried this. It had a low barrier to entry, and I failed into it.
Failed into it. So you went from bartending to let's go into real estate, low barrier of entry, failed into it. Tell me what failed into it means.
I think what a lot of us can resonate with is we didn't wake up at 12 years old and say, hey, I'm going to be a realtor when I grow up. Can't wait to do that. So I'd always dreamed of either being a professional baseball umpire. I don't even know. I wasn't that good at baseball, but it seemed fun. Or being a therapist. And instead I wound up in real estate. So after a lot of hard years bartending, I gave this a go, and apparently it's worked out. If Liz is interviewing me, so
I'd say you've done pretty well. So, what year was it when you got into real estate? Tell us about the beginning of your real estate career and when that took place.
Yeah, so it was 2018. It was July 2018 that I got into real estate. I had no idea what I was doing. Called everybody I knew. I sat down at a coffee shop and I called every single person in my phone book and I said, hey, I just started in real estate. This is what I'm doing. If you need to move, if you need a plumber, I'm here. So please give me a call if you think of anything. And it started rolling from there. Got one deal, got two deals, and a year later, I was pretty successful.
So, what'd you do in your first year of real estate?
Business wise, like numbers.
Yeah, numbers, units and volume. What'd you do your first year in real estate?
So I talk about two things in terms of that, right? I talk about my first 6 months, which was July to December, which I feel is like a ramping up period, as most realtors know, right? Deals take a month to close. So you take a month or two to figure out what the heck's going on, a month or two to start listing properties or doing rentals. So after 6 months, I think I'd sold 2 or 3 homes. But if you count January 2019 to, January 2020, not so good at math, but if you count January 2019 to January 2020, I did 9.6 million in sales. I think it was about 26 homes I sold.
Not too shabby for your first full year in real estate. You said in there, you said in there, I sat down at a coffee shop and I just started calling everybody I knew. And that resulted in nearly $10 million in business for you in your first full year, well, really your first 18 months in total in real estate. So why'd you do that? Like, where did the drive and the motivation to do the painful thing of sit down and call the people you knew and say, do you need to buy or sell real estate? Why? Where did that come from?
I didn't know what else to do. Honestly, a lot of this has come from just I didn't know what else to do. I knew I had to get myself in front of people because if people don't know you're a real estate agent, they can't use you as a real estate agent. So at first they have to know that you do this thing. So I just figured I would tell as many people as possible that I'm doing this thing. And then I had to figure out a way to get them to trust me. So I got a good mentor. Um, he was at EXP. So I was at EXP for a year with that mentor, and learned kind of the basics of the trade. And so I had someone that they could trust, right? Because they had a guy who'd done 150 sales a year behind me. And then they knew that I was a hard worker. They knew my authenticity. They trusted me because they'd known me for a long time. People generally trust their bartender. And then I lived in the same city I grew up in. So they trusted that. They trusted me for that as well.
Okay. So you were with EXP at this beginning phases. You did very well at you took and you leveraged all the things you knew about working with people from bartending. You didn't know what else to do, so you picked up the phone and started calling, and it led to great success. What brought you to Keller Williams, and when did that take place?
I was at EXP and it was a great environment. I went to the EXP convention. I enjoyed that. I needed something with more structure because as Liz, as you've seen in my KPA, I have no structure. Structure 10 out of 100, maybe. But what I do know I have is I'm sociable, I'm optimistic, and I'm intense. So I knew I could work hard, I could meet the people, and I could keep going. But what I needed was the structure. And when I saw Keller Williams and I saw all the things that they provided, all the classes, all the basic learning tools, after doing 10 million in my first year, I still did Ignite when I came over to Keller Williams. And it was so many of those initial steps that I would have missed if I had stayed at EXP or gone to another brokerage, because Ignite taught me the basics, right? You have to learn the basics. You can get so far in real estate or in any profession, but if you don't learn the basics, you're only going to get so far before one of those steps that you skipped is going to come back to bite you.
I think that's such a crucial point to highlight there, right? You had had success. You sold $10 million in real estate. You were right off the bat kind of a natural fit to be a salesperson in this industry. And yet you went through and said, I don't know what I don't know, and I need to know it before it comes back to bite me in the butt, which is a great way to go about things. And that's just the simplicity of being learning based, right? There's always something to take from it, and there's always something we can learn. So you come over to Keller Williams, you go through Ignite. What's your business look like going forward? What happens over the next couple of years? Because that was late 2019 or early 2020 that you joined KW?
It was early 2020.
Okay.
So I joined Keller Williams in March 2020, I would say. It was right after family reunion. So they were trying to court me. I'd met you and you knew what a bum I was. And so people started saying, hey, we should try and get this guy on board. And I went to family reunion and I was blown away by everything they had to offer. And I joined. So 2020, I joined. That year I did 33 million by myself.
So wait, hang on. Yeah. We go from 2019 at 9.6 million to 2020 33 million by yourself.
No, I messed that up. Let's start that over.
Okay, I was gonna say.
So I joined Keller Williams in March 2020, and in 2020 I did 26 million in business. We sold 66 homes. Still
26 million, right? We go from 9.6 to 26 million. That's huge, right? Huge. Now, were you a solo agent at the time? Did you have a team? What'd that look like?
Yeah, so I had one admin at that time, and then I had someone who helped me part-time in real estate, but most of the time it was just me and my admin.
How did it feel doing 26 million, just you and your admin? What was it like?
I mean, it was really fun. It's cool to see the deals rolling in, but it was a little overwhelming. We needed a little bit more. So 2021, I hired a listing coordinator. Um, she basically did everything for listings. So other than take the listing, she took it from basically listing appointment. After that, she took it all the way through the closing. Really saved me a lot of time. I was able to just concentrate on the buyers. So that was really good. And we did in 2021, we did 43 million.
All right, nice. Now, I remember sitting down and having dinner with you and Jackie Ellis and a few other people one night, and you'd kind of hit a ceiling, right? That place where you're bumping your head and going, "God, I need something and I don't know what it is." And Jackie had kind of planted it there, and Jackie's like, Liz, find him a coach. Find him a coach. He needs a coach, right? And so I said, I got the coach for you. Just have a conversation, which you are still in a coaching relationship with today. However, tell us what happened at that point. So tell us about getting the coach and then where your business goes and what ends up happening.
Yeah. So the worst decision I ever made in my life is pairing with Craig Zuber. Just an
Yeah,
awful influence in my life. He he makes me run for long distances. He's trying to get me to do an Ironman. He tried to get me to hike with Navy SEALs. He's just a really bad guy. No, Craig was my MAPS coach. Hired him. I think late 2020. It was October 2020. And you set me up with him, you and Jackie. And there has been nothing like having a MAPS coach. Craig is, I think people think about coaches that they will just push you and push you and push you. But he knew with me, I need a different type of pushing, right? So what Craig's done amazingly well is adapt to me and who I am. And that's led to extreme success.
So tell me about your business today. So you paired with Craig in late 2020. Your business has become wildly successful. Here we are, 2023. We just came out of a really bang up year in real estate in general. What's your business and your team size look like today?
So we have cut down back to one admin, cyberbacker, which is a virtual assistant in the Philippines, and me. So it's back down to 3 people. I've scaled it back because I'm trying to live my life more by design. And that's something that really inspires me. So instead of growing a bigger business, I've tried to grow a more stable business in which I can travel a lot. Last year, I traveled 128 days. And this year, I'll probably travel about 90 something, only because I realize 128 is a little too much.
128 days on the road away from home is a lot. And that's a great point to highlight. Sometimes we get so distracted in doing more and being the biggest and being the best that we forget that sometimes being the biggest is not necessarily the best for us, right? To go and live your life by design and to travel and to accomplish the things that you want and to still have the income and the business that funds that is the ultimate goal. And I just want to point out, while Justin's background right now, because he does live in Boca Raton and his business is there is a beach, he is not in Florida at this time. You are in Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm at my house in Asheville, North Carolina.
Not a bad gig, not a bad gig. So
No.
let's take it here. If there's a moral of the story that you would leave everybody with today, what would that be? The mic drop moment you want them to hear in this 15-minute video. What is that?
Do I only get one?
You get one.
Oof. Okay. If I have to pick one, I'm picking have a plan. You need a 10-year letter. You need a plan. You need to know where you're going in the future to influence the decisions you make today. If you don't have the basics is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And if you have a 10-year letter and you know where you're going in 10 years, it becomes extremely clear what you need to do in this present moment to make that happen. So if I had one message to leave everybody with, it would be get extremely clear about where you want to be in 10 years, have a big, hairy, audacious goal, or what they call a BHAG, and go for it. Do not stop until you get there, and inform every decision you make today based on where you want to be in 10 years, and life becomes super simple. If I had to have a second one, and Liz, I know I don't get a second one, but if I got a second one, it would be that on that 10-year journey, that you make sure that you are being authentic, that you are doing exactly what you want to do, that your 10-year goal isn't somebody else's 10-year goal. It's not the goal your parents would have wanted for you. Your 10-year goal isn't the goal your friends would have wanted for you. Your 10-year goal is the goal you want for you. And if you aren't authentic to yourself, you can't be anybody else. They're all taken. So go be the best version of yourself. Don't be a watered down version of somebody else. I think that's the most important point outside of having that goal of where you want to be in 10 years.
I'd fist bump you on there, but then it would look like I was punching you in the face right now. So, done. Got it. All right, and now we'll wrap it up with, give us a random Justin fact or something people should know about you.
The first Justin fact that comes to mind is freshman year of high school. Everyone's doing the powder puff cheerleading and the girls are playing flag football. And I am the only guy to go out in the middle of the school, 3,600 people, and take my shirt off and do the Crybaby in front of the whole school, dance for like a minute out there all by myself. So I'm still that person.
What's the Crybaby dance?
It's where you like kind of lay on the floor and you do this and you shake your butt.
I got nothing here. I have no idea. But I have a very fascinating visual now, so thank you for that. All right, Justin, if anybody wants to get a hold of you or send you referrals, how can they do that? Where can they find you?
Yeah, the best place to find me is on Instagram at Himmel Sells Homes, HIMMELSELLS. I think you know how to spell sells homes. Or you can, feel free to reach out to me via phone, 561-302-9709. I cover all of South Palm Beach County, which is on the southeast coast of Florida. That's Boca, Delray, Boynton, Lake Worth, Coral Springs, any of that. You can find me, call me. Would love to help your clients, and would love to send you some referrals. So thank you so much for keeping me in mind, and follow me on Instagram. It's a heck of a journey. I always say my Instagram is like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get. I believe that. I fully believe that. Now I'm going to have to go look when we're done with this recording. So thank you, Justin, so much for your time today. And everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you found value in this. And not his one key takeaway, but his two key takeaways that he did. I'll give it to you because they match, right? They go together, so we'll take it. I think it's huge, right? Lack of clarity creates confusion. And what Justin was telling you there is be absolutely clear on what you want your business to do for you, what you want out of your life, and go for it, because you can be there anytime you want. All right. Thank you, Justin, so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me, Liz. It was a pleasure.